IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with perfectionism. Did you know that there are 3 kinds of perfectionism? And this is very interesting and surprising. The first kind of perfectionism is called socially prescribed perfectionism. This is when a person believes that others expect him or her to be perfect. What is interesting about this kind of perfectionism is that society, or for that matter, their family and friends, might or might not be imposing it on the person, but they believe it to be true. And we often see this amongst children who are very competitive or who have parents who are very competitive or overbearing. The second kind of perfectionism is self-oriented perfectionism. And this is when the person imposes these unrealistic standards on themselves. They expect only the best from themselves, and if they can't deliver the best, it is unacceptable. And you will notice a lot of people suffer from this. The third kind of perfectionism is called other-oriented perfectionism. And this is when you expect others to be perfect. You transfer these unrealistic expectations to the people around you. You maintain very high standards for your friends and family or co-workers. And these kinds of perfectionists are frustrating for people around and for themselves. This is because they're constantly living with expectations that cannot be met. They're frustrated because of expectations. You will notice among perfectionists, they are frustrated or procrastinators. And I know this firsthand because my dad is a perfectionist. And he's always so particular about the way things are done. When I used to write presentations for the company, each comma, each semicolon was so agonized over. And when deciding on a holiday destination or a plan, it was agonizing. And we agonized over every little thing to the extent that we never ended up traveling anywhere. I remember years ago trying to get a website made for our company. My dad was trying to be perfect. He wanted that website to be perfect. So perfect that we went through 2 designing agencies and in the end did not have a website up and running. You see what happens? Now, this is the true problem with perfectionism. Nothing ever gets done. In the quest for perfection, we just stagnate. Perfect is a fallacy. It does not exist. It can always be made better. So, hence, very often, this whole concept of perfectionism is something that we need to put aside. My latest caper with my dad and I on perfectionism prompted this episode. As some of you know, I just finished writing a book. And as a proud moment, I took printouts and gave them to my mom and dad to read. And as I record this podcast, it's been 3 days since I handed it to them. Mom has finished reading up to chapter 7 and dad has not started yet. This is the same dad that made me feel guilty about not involving him in the writing process earlier. And deep down, I know he wants to read it. But when I asked him, Dad, why are you not starting it? His response was, I'm waiting for that perfect moment. Today I will sit down with a pen and a coffee and read. I will make pointers and corrections to the book. Now, how often in life do we wait for that perfect moment to start something? How often do we sit around waiting and waiting, hoping that inspiration will strike or magically everything will be perfect? We wait for that perfect moment to tell someone we love them, when the moonlight is just perfect and she's in a good mood. Or we wait for that perfect moment to ask for a raise. We wait for that perfect moment to start our new business or make that social media post we always wanted to. There is no such thing as a perfect moment. It is a lie. It does not exist. Waiting for it only makes you a procrastinator, not a perfectionist. The truth is that the perfect moment is right now. The perfect moment is the moment you decide to do something and take action on it. The perfect moment is this breath that you're taking right now. And if you truly understand this, procrastination will leave you and a whole world of opportunities will open up. I believe that you have to start and then figure out what to do as things unfold. I have never written a book. Who cares? Jump in and figure it out. I had never recorded a podcast. Who cares? Jump in and figure it out. Why live in regret for the things that could have been? If only you had just tried. If only you had just started. So your simple habit starts by taking a deep breath and letting it go. Get yourself back into this moment in time. Then truly feel it and believe this is the perfect moment. Tomorrow is a total mystery. Who knows what will happen? The only thing you truly have control over is right now. So learn to grab this moment. This is the perfect moment. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome 180.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank the sponsors on the network this week. Thank you so much to Cred, Ciet, and Global Victoria. Without you guys, this thing would not be possible. So, on the note, Maruk Inayat gives us an overview of the potential Twitter ban in India. On this round is on me. Gauri Devi Dayal was joined by actor-producer Poorna Jagannathan to talk about her career in Bollywood, Hollywood, and theatre. She talks about the upcoming season of the show Never Have I Ever. On Cyrus Says, we had legendary musician Usha Uttup. She took us through her journey and shared her experiences as the unconventional musician. In the second installment of the Father's Day special on Akla Station Adulthood, Ayushi has a candid conversation with her father, Siddhartha Amin. On the Global Victoria Tech Talks podcast, we showcase some compelling new tech stories coming out of Melbourne. Whether it's from the buzzing gaming industry or the robust edtech sector, Victoria is increasingly becoming a hub of emerging technology. And we talk to some thought leaders and industry legends about the same. Catch all the action from the World Test Championship on the Edges and Sledges podcast. For our Hindi listeners, we have Khel Niti, which goes live on YouTube every morning. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
If you love cricket, listen up. The Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast is here for you. Hosted by DJ, Varun, and me, Ashwin, we bring a fun, fresh fan's point of view to talking all things cricket. Sometimes it's just the three of us, sometimes we have guests, including current and former international cricketers. For new episodes every week, check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast on the IVM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.